The following program contains strong language, adult themes, violence, general absurdity, and obnoxiousness. Anyone with a shred of sensibility is advised to read a book instead.
All you motherfuckers are gonna pay. You are the ones who are the ball lickers. We're gonna fuck your mothers while you watch and cry like little whiny bitches. Once we get to Hollywood and find those Miramax fucks who was making the movie, we're gonna make them eat our shit, then shit out our shit, and then eat their shit.
The following program contains strong language, adult themes, violence, general absurdity, and obnoxiousness. Anyone with a shred of sensibility is advised to read a book instead.
All you motherfuckers are gonna pay. You are the ones who are the ball lickers. We're gonna fuck your mothers while you watch and cry like little whiny bitches. Once we get to Hollywood and find those Miramax fucks who was making the movie, we're gonna make them eat our shit, then shit out our shit, and then eat their shit that's made up of our shit that we made them eat. And then all you motherfucks are next. That'll show those fucks.
Welcome to the Unnamed Podcast, hosted by Mike and Chris. This show may be offensive to some listeners,
Did your monocle fall in
Where's
your
our
teacup?
country going?
especially if you're offended by horrible jokes.
Guess what? We're gonna have twerk and talk.
Suck a dick, Ferrero.
Right.
The train's coming. Ding dong ding. That's the sound of the engine, bitch.
That's a really shitty engine.
Jesus Christ, I'm gonna fucking kill you when the show's over. I really am gonna fucking beat the ever living shit.
Like the White Album. I mean, you couldn't choose a. You
Say
couldn't.
it.
You couldn't choose a fucking color for your album.
White is a color, dude.
Oh, so we're allowed to talk about twerking, but I can't talk about dicks? This podcast sucks.
Shaking loose together, spotlights hitting something that been known to change the weather. We kill a fatted calf tonight, so stick around. You gotta hear electric music, solid walls of sound. Say, Kenny and Ronnie, have you seen them yet? Whoa, but they're so spaced out. Kenny and the Jets. Oh, but they're weird and wonderful. Oh, man, she's a relegate. They got Alexis News. I'm Boy Foods. You know I'm better than a magazine. Oh, Penny and the Jets.
I'm so pissed that the audio didn't come out good on that.
What part?
On the part, I mean, unless it was just my headphones, but the beginning part where we were talking.
Oh, I didn't hear it. I didn't hear
Oh, it was
anything
all
weird.
warbled. Maybe it's just my headphones.
Maybe it's just your head.
It probably is actually.
So this
Probably
is Biz Markie?
This is Biz Markie doing Benny and the Jets.
I thought this was Randy Newman.
Really?
Yeah.
Probably the same.
You know, it's
Yeah.
kind of like, you know.
Probably the same girth.
Mm.
Probably.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Girth expert, Mike
Yeah.
G.
Well, you know, I am. I have.
you know your girth.
I have plenty to spare.
Oh.
Oh.
Hey.
Hey. Welcome to the unnamed podcast.
Thought we were calling it the Big Dick Podcast from now on.
We are not calling it that.
The
Actually,
big
We
old
are-
dick podcast.
we are actually not going to call it that.
Oh, all right.
Sorry.
My mistake.
Yeah, I just didn't want to. I don't know. I didn't really feel like marketing that. I want
Yeah.
to email you all a joke to play on the air. Ooh. Let me guess what the joke is. Somebody says they want to email us a joke. Is the joke knock knock? Who's there? Go fuck yourself. That's a great joke.
That's a good joke.
All right, it's feedback at theunnamedpodcast.com. Damn, now I got to get the email account.
Why don't they just put it in the chat box?
Get the party started. Guess. Hold on, let me open the email.
Okay.
So,
So how are you doing, Mike?
I'm doing all right. How
Doing
you
okay?
Yeah, I'm doing okay. How you doing?
Well, I've reached about a month of unemployment
Yeah.
at this point.
You're at that.
Yeah.
You're at that month.
critical
That
juncture.
month threshold.
Yeah, it feels good. I feel like I should get an AA token or something.
Try talking away from the mic a little bit because I'm getting like a lot of
Reverberation.
clipping.
Okay.
A lot of like. Yeah, no, I think that's good.
All right.
That's good. All right, let me open the email so somebody can email us a joke. A joke. So there's been a couple of happenings in the world, Chris. I don't know. I don't know if you've been watching the news or anything.
Yeah, I haven't really got out of bed.
Actually, well, it's only to plug in and unplug the bum TV that I gave you. Right?
Yeah, the
Oh,
shitty
God.
TV, right?
How embarrassing.
Yeah, you know. Don't buy TVs from Mike G, guys.
Yeah, just
They'll screw you.
heed Chris's warning. Well, look, I'm trying to make good on it. That's all.
Yeah, no, he's doing a good job.
Trying to make good on it.
It's a very honorable businessman.
Well, so sorry. Let's see. Okay, I got the email open. So
Okay.
I am eagerly awaiting this joke.
This better be a good joke.
Again, it's
buddy.
feedback at theunnamedpodcast.com.
That cam.
So we gotta make this a not as long show as we usually do. So not 3 hours, maybe not 2, maybe like an hour and a half.
Maybe like an hour and a half.
Yeah, we'll aim for that. As long as you don't freaking ramble on. I know
I'm a rambler.
you are a talker.
I'm a big rambler.
People say to me all the time. I need a
oh
freaking
my god.
I need a freaking pop filter. That's just more freaking money. Anyway, I've lost the train of thought. I've lost the train of thought on ball busting for you. So.
No, sorry. Well, we were talking about how I ramble.
Oh yeah, you ramble.
I'm a rambler.
As I ramble through shitting up a joke. It's fantastic.
Good stuff.
Good times,
It's
Mike.
good radio today.
Good radio. Good podcast. Good podcast.
Yeah, so tonight's Wednesday. It's our new night.
Tonight is our new.
Wow.
God,
Mike, what
this-
Mike keeps doing is bumping his microphone.
This
and
mic
it's-
stand.
The mic
blows.
stand is just
This mic stand is
notwithstanding.
terrible. It's
Yeah.
terrible. This is horrible
Poor
shit.
Mike. Do you want me to tell him about what happened at the gym today, or we?
No.
A couple girls came up to
No,
me.
well,
And they were
nobody
like,
wants to know.
They were like, "Whoa, bro, how are you pumping that?" And I'm like, "Bro,
We're back. We're back.
I know how to pump."
Anyway, it's Wednesday, Prince Spaghetti Day, and our new podcast day, because when we started podcasting in the summer. And there's no, unless you're a baseball fan, there's no sports of note during the summer. If you're a baseball fan, then there's like a baseball game every 2 hours or something like that in the summertime. But as there are football games on Thursdays for the foreseeable future, and hockey games, which I plan to attend, it's probably easier if we just move to Wednesday when nobody has anything going on.
Frankly, I'm surprised that we made it as far as we did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
12 episode 12.
Episode 12.
Episode 12.
We're practically adolescent.
Practically. Where
I guess it's an adolescent, wouldn't you say?
in Thailand would be legal.
Oh, that's good to know. I'm glad you know that.
You told me. So there's that, and our new podcast day.
Is
We also
Wednesday.
have a new phone number.
Which I am a little miffed about.
Oh God, why?
Who
did you-
Zen Boobs was like the coolest thing.
Zen
That
boobs sucked.
That was the best
I
joke
made
we ever did.
really?
What's funnier than Zen Boob, bro?
Oh, lots of things.
No.
So many things. So many things are funnier than that. 1-866 Witty WITTY 74. And it's, Chris, I was paying homage to you. I thought that you're very witty and maybe 74 years old as well.
Yeah.
So you live like a 74-year-old.
I look like a 74.
Live like one. Yeah.
You mean getting government assistance? Or
Also not leaving bed, having to use a bedpan.
There you go.
Eating prunes all day.
I guess I never really thought of it that way.
Yeah.
That is true.
We've got mail.
We've got mail?
Yes.
This better be a fucking great joke.
The title says very offensive.
Oh, God.
All right. Should I read it or should I finish our opening spiel?
Why don't you go ahead and read it?
All right.
Yeah.
Is the opening spiel boring?
No, I'm just
Am
really...
I taking away?
Yeah.
All right. It smells like weed and puberty in here. Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it does.
All right. The joke. Yeah, I had it up. Okay, here we go. It's an audio.
It's an audio joke?
It's an audio joke. If this is malware, I'm going to be fucking bullshit. Okay, here we go.
I like that John doesn't call in and tell us the joke. He emails us the sound.
Shh. Maintain some anonymity here. Jeez.
Oh.
Chris.
Well,
Unless Sean wants credit for this joke.
I'm sure he does.
Yeah,
He wants credit for everything.
All right, here we go.
It's a classic joke.
So there's these three Buddhist monks that are, we'll call them Chinese Buddhist monks, and they're climbing around the mountains, and all three of them die in a freak accident, like a landslide or something. Well, these three monks, they find themselves all of a sudden standing in front of these big white pearly gates with a little kiosk next to it with some sleeping old dude in it with a name tag that says Peter. Well, St. Peter wakes up, oh, fuck, sorry, I didn't see you guys there. Well, check this out. The three of you look really confused. So this is what's going on. Before you is the gateway to the kingdom of heaven. And the three of you, because you spent your lives in a in a very pious manner and in the service of others, you're given this wonderful opportunity to go to heaven. But, however, the catch is that between the three of you, someone's got to tell me what Easter is. So the three Chinese Buddhist monks all kind of look at each other. Oh, Easter. So one of them finally pipes up and says, St. Peter, I know Easter. Easter is when you go tramping through woods. You find a big turkey. Gobble, gobble, gobble. Wow! But you get lots of food for everyone.
Are they Buddhist or Japanese?
I don't
That
know
monk
what this is,
disappears.
yeah.
Totally evaporates. The other two look at each other all nervous and shit. Oh. So St. Peter says, all right, that was Thanksgiving. So between the two of you, what's Easter? Next one pipes up and says, Peter, he don't know Easter. I know Easter. Easter is when big fat man in a big red jolly suit. He squeezed down a chimney. He gave up presents to all the boys and girls. Poof. That guy disappears too. So St. Peter says, no, man, that's Christmas. Looks at the last guy and says, well, you have the benefit of the process of elimination. You know two answers that are incorrect. So tell me, what's Easter, buddy? The last one sits there and kind of thinks about it, and he says, St. Peter, they don't know Easter. Me, I know Easter. Easter is when a man named Jesus, they put him up on a big piece of wood. They put nails through hands and feet. Then, after he died, Jesus' mother and his friends, they come and take him down off wood. Then they put him in big hole in the ground, big cave. They push big boulder in front. Then, 3 days later, Jesus come back to life. He gets up, pushes big boulder out of the way, steps outside, sees the shadow, 40 more days of winter.
I can't believe I listened to that whole fucking thing.
It was the Groundhog Day? Is that what they're talking about? I couldn't understand it. It was so racist. It was impossible to understand.
I was actually making a telephone call to the
ADL, yeah.
Yeah.
Just a preemptive, we're sorry.
I was getting our lawyers on the line.
Well, thanks for that joke.
Thank you. That was actually.
Just want everyone to know I have a lot of Asian friends, and it's not like that.
Well, are they Japanese or are they Buddhist?
I don't know.
That's a good way to start off the show.
Yeah, that was good.
It's a good note.
Now there's good racist energy in the air. That's good. I like that. It's
You
good.
know, I always like to start off a radio show with some pure old-fashioned racism.
Exactly. It kind of sets the stage, doesn't it? It sets
That
the
was
stage.
actually a really good. That was actually a really. I mean,
For a racist caricature, that was a very, very good job. I thought it was actually a racist caricature and not just one of my friends. It's good. It's good.
this is the company you keep, Chris.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I don't see your friends sending in racist jokes, so.
I don't see my friends sending in much of anything. quite honestly, couple of them do. Couple of them do. So, all right. Anyway, that was good. Thank you very much for the submission. Racist or no, I appreciate the. I appreciate it. Oh God. I love the title. Very offensive.
Yeah.
I was waiting. I was waiting for a killer punchline there, but maybe I missed it. I thought that the whole point of the joke was just because it was so long. I just can't believe I like the pink ping pong ball joke.
What's the ping pong?
Oh God, we only have an hour and a half, so
Okay.
I'm gonna have to save that for another show. And plus, I think we're gonna probably lose about 90% of our listeners.
Right. Yeah.
It's actually very funny to me. All right. Anyway, 1-866 witty WITTY 74. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you're mad, Chris. We can change it too. We can change it again if you want to.
Whatever.
I think my headphones are kind of messed up here. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Ooh, wow.
Oh, now mine are dead.
Really?
Yeah.
Shit. Technical issues abound.
Uh-oh.
No, that's all right.
Hearing something.
There you go. Hear anything?
Yeah, I guess so. Okay, that's better. Yeah.
Better?
That's good.
Wow. That's what I get for getting a cheapo headphone amplifier. Wow, that is actually pretty loud. Maybe I should turn this down a little bit. Oh my God. All right.
I think everyone's having a good time.
No, wow, everyone's blessed. All right. So 1-866 witty 74 WITTY 74. Sorry, I hated Zen Boob. I'm sorry. I hated it. Such an embarrassment.
What's done is done.
Well, we can always get another phone number if you want.
Whatever.
I'm not making any more promotional material though.
Okay.
I'm not putting the number on it. Hell no.
Fine. Whatever.
So the last thing is our last new thing is I redesigned the website. So not that anybody cares, not that anybody goes to it, but I like it. So
Sure.
whatever. Yeah.
So,
anyway,
good.
let's just get on with the show.
Finally.
I know. All right. So the DC Navy Yard shooting. I think we all have seen the news coverage on it, and basically, what was the final death toll on there? Was it like 13 or was it like 11, something like that? I mean,
Yeah.
it was above 10, right?
Yes, it was. Yeah.
Technically classified a mass shooting.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And apparently the shooter. So from what I understand, and I've been out of the loop on news. I've been just kind of browsing. I try not to go by a lot of the, not to sound not to sound like an asshole, but I don't really read a lot of the major news sources. I try to read like
the lamestream media.
Well, oh God, I didn't want to use that term, but you never really know what to believe though.
Especially in a breaking news situation.
Exactly. So, what news sites do you read, like for real news, or do you kind of aggregate a bunch of news sites?
Yeah, I look all over, I guess.
I mean, because I just feel like you can't. Dick joke unavailable. Yes, 1-866 Dick joke was unavailable, and 13 including the shooter. Thank you.
Okay.
I should look for that 1-866 Dick joke. Anyway.
Yeah, right. I'm sure it's taken.
Yeah, I'm sure. We're so respectful talking about dick jokes in the middle of this. So yeah, I mean, I tend to look at like BBC and
Yeah, that's good.
stuff like that. I mean, it's just something kind of removed from
I like The Guardian.
the Guardian.
Guardian's really good.
Is the Guardian like not actual news, but it's like, is it less like so I consider like CNN and Fox and all those like tabloid news essentially, like
Yeah.
the Guardian is less so, or is it?
Well, the British press is a little different. It's all kind of like everyone knows. Each one has a certain slant.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
they're definitely left wing, obviously. But,
Yeah, like the Boston Globe pretends it doesn't have a slant, and I mean, I feel like the Herald doesn't pretend, but I feel like the Herald is just like a fucking it's an all rag, and they don't really give a shit.
Yeah,
but-
the Herald is a piece of shit. Sure.
Yeah, but all right. So, from what I heard, this guy was a defense contractor,
Mm-hmm.
and
Who had mental health issues?
mental health issues, and he had a security clearance.
Yeah, that's good, right?
Now,
And like violent outbursts, I think, a history of that. Not just like, oh, he's a little depressed. It was like violent, psychotic episodes.
So I want to talk a little bit about security clearances because I used to work for a defense contractor,
Right.
In IT.
I wasn't sure you could even bring this up.
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
I can. There's pretty clear things of what I can't talk about, but like the specifics about programs and things like that I can't talk about. But I mean, it's no real secret that that it's not meant to be a secret that I worked for a defense contractor, because there's nothing useful in that information. Quite honestly, if anybody wanted to extract information out of me, they get nothing. They'd probably kill me.
Yeah.
So, and I actually have run into a situation where somebody has like probed me a little bit for information when they found out where I worked.
Like a reporter? Or?
No, like a taxi driver.
Really?
I was on my way home from I was on my way home from a week-long trip to DC, and so I took a cab home from Logan, and this guy, the guy driving the cab, I mean, he was very like just chill.
Yeah.
Had a Bluetooth headset, and
very cool.
I didn't really realize that he. I guess I didn't realize he was talking on the phone, but he was asking me questions about like where I worked and stuff like that, and so I, stupidly. I mean, I was young, so stupidly I told him, I'm like, oh yeah, I work at BAE Systems, and he said, oh, and he said something on the phone, and he's like, oh, Burlington, and I said, oh, I go all over. And he's like, oh, what kind of programs do you work on there? I'm like, I just install software, and which wasn't true, but I'm like, yeah, I just install like Microsoft Word and stuff like that.
You were testing sarin.
What?
Sarin gas.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
They can't know about that.
No, can't know about that. No, testing missiles. But anyway, I had to report that too to my security officer and stuff like that. It was just weird situation.
Oh, really?
But yeah, anyway, so yeah, actually my security clearance is still technically active if I ever wanted to go back into defense, but that's not going to happen anytime soon. But what I know about applying for and maintaining your security clearance is that you have to be pretty spotless.
I bet.
You have to be pretty spotless because I mean, going for so there's different levels, right? Obviously, there's like the secret, which you can be breathing and get secret clearance.
I don't know if I could.
I think you could.
Really?
The people I've seen get secret clearance, it's just all they want to make sure when they question you is, can you be blackmailed by anybody? Is there anything anybody has on you that they can blackmail you with? Like, I don't know. Were you, well, I mean, you can imagine. I can't quite think of any examples right now, but I mean, were you, messing around with 2 or 3 people at the same time and they all knew about each other or something like that? You know what I mean? Like that sort of thing. Or, do you have contact with foreign governments and stuff like that? Foreign nationals.
Which I do, so.
Still, I mean, my best friend is a foreign national.
And he's got secret clearance?
No, he's no. But I got.
Oh, I see.
But I got clearance despite him. But I just had to provide information about him.
Ooh, information about him.
Well, you know, I mean, I just had to. I had to.
So is he in Guantanamo now?
I can't talk about it. Sorry. No, but anyway, they vet you out pretty good. I mean, there's a secret clearance, and they vet you out for secret clearance, but not very hard. I mean, they put you into a database and get your fingerprints and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You could take a piss test.
Fuck.
Well, you don't have to take a piss test to get the clearance, but because I had left the company and then went back to the company, I had to take a piss test coming back in, even though I was a rehire. Just kind of, you know, and that piss test gets attached to my file.
Oh.
You know, the results of that. Because one of the questions you have to answer is, you know, do you smoke? Do you do drugs? Do you smoke weed? Do you do coke, heroin, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera? Any drug, they ask you, and you have to answer truthfully.
Would you just be flat out denied if you said yes?
Nope.
Not necessarily.
Nope. It would just take longer to vet to get you cleared.
I see.
They would have to go, you know, they would have to the process. They would have to dig deeper into your background. So that's just for secret. When you get to the top secret level, that's a little bit. So that's where I assume that this guy was. Well, actually, if it was a facility clearance, he was probably at even above top secret, which I once had as well. Which that's the real, like, they really probe you. Like they went around and talked to my neighbors. They, you know, you have to fill out a form that goes back 10 years in your background, whereas secret is just 7. But the top secret goes back 10. You got to renew it every like 2 or 3 years. They have to reinvestigate you. Like, they have to send people out every 5 years to talk to your neighbors and make sure, like, you know, is he showing up with cars? You know, like that, you know, like every other month. Is he, you know, does he seem to be living outside his means? They asked my neighbors, does he drink a lot? That's what they asked my neighbors that, and my neighbors are like, well, he doesn't drink any more than any other 20-something-year-old. So that's how how long ago that was. It was a 20-something-year-old, but yeah. So what boggles my mind about this guy is, one, how he got a firearm in the facility first place. Second, which I don't know the details about that. But second, if he had all these mental problems, and they do check, like I had to sign like a medical release saying, you know, we're going to talk to your doctors and we're going to see, you know, if you have any, you know, physiological or psychological history that we should be concerned about. And they talked to the doctors, and the doctors had to fax a form saying, no, he's okay. And I assume actually that that getting into a facility like that, especially at the Navy Yard,
yeah,
getting into a facility like that, you gotta take like a polygraph and all that stuff. And these polygraph examiners, man, they're no joke. The polygraph examiners are actual, like, they used to be psychologists, you know, like work in the psychology field, and they know how to get right in your head. It's just, you know, plus they all operate out of a standard operating manual as well. It's just fucked up. It's a fucked up world. That's why I don't want to go back in it.
Yeah.
But also a friend of mine took the lifestyle polygraph, which the lifestyle polygraph is like a true like mind fuck. Like, they can ask you there's like no holds barred, any question at all. Like, they ask you, like, I heard somebody once told me that they asked him if he fucks animals.
Wow. Do you fuck animals?
Yes. Like, not in so many words, but like, you know, do you have sexual do you engage in sexual conduct with you know, with non-human entities, which could cover a wide range of things, right? If you were like, you know, fucking one of those real dolls, right? Yeah, that's non-human, right?
Well, I would imagine that if you answered yes to that, you would kind of just shoot up right to the top of even confidential. You might be an NSA mid-management someday.
I think that for real, they're looking to see if you answer truthfully.
Yeah.
And you know, I've seen the results, like of the polygraph. I've seen the polygraph results, and you know, for all I know, I could be naive, and they could be just showing me any sort of shit that they want to.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, the seat that you sit on is very sensitive, and they hook something up to your finger, you know, to measure your heart rate. do the strap around. They do 2 straps around your midsection. You sit on a plate so that you can't clench your asshole.
I was gonna bring up the clenching the asshole thing.
You put your feet on a plate so that you can't press down on a rock in your shoe, which is one way to defeat it. One way to defeat it is you have a rock in your shoe. Every time they ask you a question, you press down on the rock in your foot, and then that evokes kind of the same physiological response because it's very it's very sensitive from what I could tell.
So why can't you clench your asshole if you're sitting on a plate?
Because it's that sensitive that it's going to detect that sort of movement.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, you're sitting on a plate that detects like
Not a dinner plate, which is what I thought you meant.
Really? You really?
Yeah, I really thought that.
Did you really seriously?
You're
not shitting me, right?
I'm not shitting you. I've been unemployed for a month. The mental atrophy is kicking in. It's happening.
Yeah, you're actually broadcasting from your bed. I'm in the living room right
yeah,
now.
I'm very
Look at
bored.
that.
Very bored.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Wow.
you're not. No, you're not sitting on a dinner plate.
I was gonna say because I'll get a dinner plate in here right now and I'll clench my asshole sitting on it, no problem. And we'll see who's the victor then. Oh, there goes my microphone.
Oh, see.
There we go.
So you were laughing at me.
Yeah, but my microphone drops cooler.
Yeah. Who is the interviewer who wants? Okay, again, so it's easier for us to read, for everybody to read. If you want to swear in the chat room, just put spaces in between the letters.
Grow up, guys.
It's just
like how do we not know this?
Listen, it's a free country.
Yeah, if you want to swear, put some spaces in it.
Yeah, put some spaces in it. So, Miley Cyrus does count as a non-human entity. Yes, to work away. So yeah, so the point of my long-winded bullshit anecdote is that I don't understand how this guy passed a psych eval. Don't understand it, especially if he had documented mental illness outbursts. I mean, the media is finding out about it.
Yeah.
So somebody had to know, and that's somebody who.
It was on his file.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's.
Was he top secret or just regular secret?
If he's walking around a facility, I know that the to walk around the CIA and the Pentagon.
Yeah.
You have to have like this clearance called like green badge clearance or something like that. I mean, it takes. I don't even know how you get that clearance. It's to walk around unescorted, especially, which I think is even. It's like one step below the president, quite honestly. I don't even know how you get that to that level. But if he's walking around this facility in the Navy Yard that's a secured facility, what I know about secured facilities is that you have to have like a top secret and this other adjunct clearance called SCI, which is like secure compartmented information, which is like, if you were working on a program that has to do with human intelligence or signal intelligence or something like that, the program would be top secret, but the compartment of that program would be in human intelligence. So you couldn't, if you were cleared for, say, human intelligence, and I was cleared for signal intelligence, we couldn't talk to each other about those aspects of the program, even though we're on the same program.
Yeah.
We're only limited to those compartments. So from what I know about secured facilities is that you have to have at least a top secret, probably an SCI clearance as well to walk around there. And that's no joke to get one of those clearances. It's no joke. That's like, that's polygraph.
Apparently it is a joke though.
You know what?
Yeah.
It is a joke. And I was listening to the Ron and Fez show on XM, and it's essentially a comedy show, right? But they touch on serious topics every now and then. And I mean, one of the things that they were saying, which I don't even know if it was supposed to be a goof or not, but if it's not, I mean, even if it's not a goof, even if it is a goof, it's got some validity. And they said the clearance program is a joke and needs to be reviewed. And I actually completely agree. Seeing the people that I used to work with as a defense contractor who used to get clearances, yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, especially people who have gotten fired for having questionable work ethic and things like that.
Like what? Can you say, or even in general terms? I
guess questionable work ethic would be like, nothing illegal, but like, something that would get you fired from like a fast food joint. You know what I mean? Like, if you, if you don't do the proper things that you're supposed to do,
Yeah.
like say you're closing the store, if you don't close the store correctly, if you don't set the alarm on the store, somebody might be able to break in, when you're not, you know what I mean? If you're catching my drift. But those people still have clearances. And it makes me actually, it makes the whole Edward Snowden thing believable that, yeah, he walked in with a flash drive, with a USB stick, plugged it into a computer, got all these documents off and walked out because, when you walk, as an IT person, when I walked in and out of these secure labs, nobody was watching me. Nobody was, I had complete unfettered access. I had combinations, I had alarm codes and stuff like that. And it's just like, I could walk in and out of these labs. I would have to sign a sheet. There would be accountability there. I'd have to sign a sheet. My code would be unique and they would be able to look up the codes, of whoever accessed a lab at a certain point. But, in the case of Edward Snowden, it's too late. Once he's in Sweden or wherever he went to or across in Russia, it is too late once he's got the documents and he's got the information across overseas.
Yeah, well, it was the same thing with Bradley Manning, too.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, he was able to do that. I think he put them all on CDs, actually, from what I saw in that WikiLeaks movie.
And, he was not supposed to be able to do that. The protocol that you have to follow when you get systems ready for use and classified is you have to secure the systems to a certain standard, to a government standard. Actually, on the secret level, it's there's a broad standard which the government information security guys are idiots. They're legitimate. They're legitimate retards for real. I remember giving a presentation once on how our facility cleans up contamination or data contamination, like secure higher level data gets out on a lower level network, for instance. For instance, Edward Snowden. Okay, how does that stuff get cleaned up? And I was one of the people on the team that cleaned that up, and I had to give a presentation to the Defense Security Service on how that gets cleaned up. And man, the guy who was in charge of the Northeast region, information security, he was responsible for the security on systems in the entire Northeast region of the United States. I had to explain a lot of very basic concepts to him. Very,
Really?
very, very basic. He knew a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
He knew a little bit, but he didn't know anything about stuff that you really should know, as a guy who's responsible for classified data. Essentially he's responsible for the secret data in the Northeast, being processed at labs in the Northeast.
Yeah.
He's very stupid.
Really?
I had to explain
Yeah.
a lot of very simple disk access and how data is physically deleted on disks, and he would ask me okay, so what you're telling me is that the only way to remove data totally is to just destroy the disk. I'm like, well, you're kind of right, but there are other logical ways that we can do that doesn't cost the companies $1 million.
Yeah, right.
And he was just so stupid. Now the guy before him got busted in Florida for child porn, so that tells you who
Wow.
who they employ over there. Just idiots and idiots and pedophiles.
Yeah, well, that's what I kind of assumed the national security apparatus looked like
It's
from the inside.
It's
just like a lot
scary.
Yeah.
Very scary. There were some guys who were reasonable who would, when I would explain something to him, they would get it. They would get it, or they would make an attempt to understand it. This guy just, when I would give a presentation, he'd be on his BlackBerry. He wouldn't even be paying attention. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing here? I got work to do.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's bad.
Interesting.
Bad. So it doesn't surprise me that things like Edward Snowden and Bradley Manning happened. From an IT perspective, what is the file access and audit strategy like? Are there some folders or files that trigger a digital alarm when read or accessed? Yes. The Windows like antivirus and like Windows specific file, like Windows security logs and like like sensitive window files that would I'm trying to think, like like the host file would be one. The repair disk, I'm sorry, the system repair information, and they had a whole list of DLLs that you had to lock down, which I think I wrote a script for, but it's been it's been long gone. But initially they were doing file level auditing on the entire folder for Windows, which was a disaster, and nobody would ever audit that. It'd just be such a mess. Such a messy disaster that does again, it doesn't surprise me that things like this happen. Anyway, if you want a better explanation of that, just email us. I'd be happy to. I'd be happy to go into that. It's actually kind of interesting to me, to a computer person. But anyway, so what we were talking about with this guy, Alexis, right? Is his name Alexis?
I don't even know, actually.
I think his last name is Alexis. I know it's so embarrassing that I don't even know. But
yeah,
I mean, I've been so fucking unbelievably busy over the past few days that I haven't even watched TV other than Breaking Bad, which can't talk about
because people will have a little
haven't seen it.
about
God
it.
damn, am I just jonesing to talk about that? God, I think the last episode of Breaking Bad, and I'm not going to go into it, I think the last episode was probably the best TV I've ever seen.
Top 5 easily.
I mean, I think Mad Men works in there too. I don't know if you watch Mad Men.
Sure. Not in a while though. So.
Well, yeah. I mean, I actually am missing the whole 6th season of Mad Men.
Oh, okay.
But I hear some fucked up shit happens in this one, this season, past season. But Mad Men and Breaking Bad are probably, just amazing. They've had episodes that are like, after the episode is over, I'm like, fuck, I can't believe this is over. This is like, the cliffhanger is killing me.
Yeah, every week I just get excited. I haven't watched TV like that in a long time.
No, me neither.
Yeah.
I'm skeptical about this Better Call Saul thing.
Yeah,
I think
me too.
I think any exposure that Bob Odenkirk can get is good.
I love him.
Because I love Bob Odenkirk. I think he's underrated. I'm afraid that this is going to overexpose him a little bit, though.
I've read that it's supposed to be more of a comedy than like a dark show. That makes me a little nervous.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Is it going to be written by Vince Gilligan as well?
Yeah.
Maybe it'll be good. Maybe. See, Vince Gilligan, I mean, I'm sure he doesn't exclusively write the show. But,
right.
But if he does insert some pretty, pretty good comedic twists in there. Some things that kind of make you chuckle when you're not really supposed to chuckle.
Yeah, no, Odenkirk was good comedic relief,
Odenkirk was great.
But could he drive an entire comedy show? That's the thing.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Plus, it's supposed to be a prequel. I mean, how many years can that go on? Bob Odenkirk and all the other people are only going to get older.
Yeah,
so,
right. Yeah.
I'm always skeptical about prequels like that. So, anyway, back to the DC thing. Just we'll wrap that up real quick. But yeah. So I don't know how this guy got through a background check. I just don't even know.
There is one possibility that I don't think a lot of people in the lamestream media are really eager to accept.
Let's hear it.
And I'm going to come out and say it tonight. I'm going to take a stand as an unemployed journalist.
All right, let's do it.
False flag.
Fuck you. Shut up.
False flag, bro. They are trying to take our guns away. Obvious false flag.
You don't seriously believe that?
It's so obvious, dude. Obvious false flag. Obvious. Who else would it be?
I'm laughing at you because I can't believe you're seriously. Yeah, you're such a douchebag.
No, but Alex Jones is coming out and saying that.
He sure is.
Which he says about everything.
He wasted no time. He was right on it.
I remember when the Boston Marathon bombings happened. He was right on that too.
God.
It's like he's discovered this little PR trick where he can like hop out in front of any disaster and claim the government did it, and they're trying to take him out. Or
yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing that gets me. I mean, okay, I appreciate the character that Alex Jones is, and in fact, I think I mentioned this, that Joe Rogan is like personal friends with Alex Jones, and he's mentioned
Yeah.
on the Opie and Anthony show that he's hinted that Alex Jones kind of believes maybe half of what he says, and well, I shouldn't say I respect that because I think he's a fucking scumbag.
Yeah.
But-
right.
But excuse me, I respect the character, in that he's getting people to kind of think, to not just he's getting people to not just accept what you read, and to a degree it's influenced me where I don't take the I don't take what I see on CNN or obviously Fox or any of those other places for like gospel. I mean, it's kind of over the past couple of years it's made me reconsider my news sources, right?
Yeah, like Malden Patch.
Oh, Malden Patch was Malden Patch would be the number one source of misinformation.
Oh.
Ooh, yeah. Oh, sorry.
But yeah, I agree with you to a certain extent, but I mean, he's just throwing out a lot of crazy bullshit too. It's so obvious he's just trying to get these advertisers for like these radical crazy products like, build your own bunker in your backyard. Have you noticed all of his advertising is like absolutely insane? It's all just like, freeze-dried food that you can keep after the apocalypse, and like it's crazy.
But
It's hilarious.
but it's like it's marketing to the person who would listen to that show,
Yeah, exactly.
right?
Well, that's why I think he's so dedicated to hamming up this narrative.
Fucking asshole.
Because, you get that little dedicated base of listeners that have a certain demographic, and all these people, he's like the number one go-to source for all these crazy things.
Trying to find
Buy gold.
I hear that all the time about gold is. I think gold is in decline, isn't it? Or is it?
It had a little problem, yeah.
I think silver is actually. I think
Doing
silver has
better.
taken its place. I think, but I don't know. I call me crazy, but for a very brief moment, I was considering cashing out my 401k and putting it, into like a metal like that, like a gold or silver. But then, obviously, then about 2 seconds passed after that thought, and then I'm like, "What are you, fucking stupid?" But it's something. I mean, okay. After 9/11 happened, no, I'm sorry. After 2009, the financial collapse, my 401k went down like 35%.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my god, all that goddamn money I put in there is just vaporized. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just like, so stuff like that makes me think. But then then again, my 401k is meant to be cashed out when I'm like 65. So
yeah.
it's gonna go up and down for forever. Am I gonna live to 65 to take it out? I'm not sure, but
Yeah. Well, I'm not a financial guy, but
no, neither am I.
I think it's all just about diversification. Like, you can't put it all in one thing, otherwise you're fucked.
Why love America? Well, sorry.
Yeah. Boo.
They're trying to make the lives of IT staff more miserable for sure. They sure are. I mean, I'll tell you what, that working in Skylar dies. I wish.
What's wrong with Skylar?
Skylar sucks.
See,
I
now
fucking hate Skylar.
let's talk about that a little bit.
All right, great. Let's talk about it.
What's wrong with Skylar?
I hate her.
Yeah, well, specifically, Mike, for our listeners,
I think she's annoying.
you think she's annoying?
I think that she's all right. I'm not going to say that I don't like
Women. Yeah.
I love women.
Yeah, I bet.
I do. I know you can't relate, but
Love hitting them.
well, I mean sometimes you just gotta.
Yep.
But anyway,
Chris
I
Brown.
mean, you hit them before they hit you.
Okay. I have no comment.
That's
on that.
that's what's written on your wall. So
Well, the
it's
actress.
like a banner up there. I don't understand why.
Yeah, it's next to the Hitler memorabilia.
Yeah,
Yep,
that.
yep.
I don't think Hitler was wife beater, but anyway. So the actress Anna Gunn.
Yeah, she wrote this editorial in the New York Times
How about why everybody hates her?
about why everyone hates her.
Really?
character.
Seriously?
Yeah. So it's weird you bring it up.
I didn't read
And,
this. I should find it.
And she basically makes the point that, like, I don't know, Skylar acts pretty rationally to her husband doing something completely insane. And you're really kind of sympathizing with Walt because he's kind of the anti-hero. But, I mean, if you really think about it, he's, like, kind of a criminal lunatic, like a psychopath.
I mean,
And, you know. And she says it's like, kind of an anti-woman. Like, there were all these Facebook groups that
Oh,
are like, fuck
come-
Skylar White. and
Come
like all that
on, it's just a. You know what? That's actually the sign of a really good show and a really good character when somebody like viscerally hates you,
shit. Yeah,
hates your
yeah.
character.
Well, Jar Jar Binks.
Okay, well, it's an exception.
It evokes emotion, though. People are passionate about it.
No. I mean, I didn't even think about Jar Jar Binks until you brought it up. Jesus.
What? I don't mean Jar Jar Binks evokes emotion. Well, I guess he does.
Yeah, emotion. Like, if vomiting were an emotion, I'm feeling it right now.
I think he's very funny.
Yeah, do you?
I think he's, yeah.
You said people gonna die? Oh, God.
What a disaster that was.
And
But
George Lucas got like 0 heat for that. It's like,
he got a lot of heat for that.
did he?
Oh my God.
I'm
yeah.
none that lasted. I mean,
I don't think Jar Jar Binks was in the later movies as a result of all the heat.
he was like he'd made bit parts, yeah.
Yeah,
But still, it's not like Jar Jar Binks was like edited out of the first movie or anything with all the
yeah.
with all the edits that they made. I mean, shit, they made Han Solo shoot second.
Yeah,
Christ's
right.
sake.
You're right.
What a abomination, I say.
Yeah.
Anyway.
You like him shooting first.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's Han Solo.
that's right. A murderer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, please, are you sympathizing with Boba Fett right now? Are you seriously sympathizing
No,
with him?
I'm sorry. Look, he's a terrible dictator.
Boba Fett?
Oh, yeah.
He was bounty hunter.
Oh, Boba Fett.
Boba Fett. Yes.
Right, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Good. Thought of
All right,
Jabba
we're
the Hutt
gonna-
for some reason.
All right. Yes. Let's steer the wheel back to reality
Mm-hmm.
and talk about Alex Jones.
Yeah. So he's a fun guy.
Mm,
He's a fun guy.
is he?
I was on a show once.
Were you?
I was.
Are you being serious? Or are you
I'm being
Chris
serious.
Are you being Chris Caesar right now?
I'm being super serious
Tell,
right
tell,
now.
tell me about how you were on a show.
Well, back when I was just a little greenhorn journalist boy, I won this contest. Got some press passes to go cover the presidential debates in New Hampshire back in 2007. And when I was back there, basically what they do is they have this place called the Spin Room, which is, I guess, supposed to be tongue-in-cheek and ironic and clever. And all the journalists kind of go there, and there's little signs where representatives from each campaign will go, and you'll kind of have a big press conference. You can kind of go, and sometimes the candidates themselves will come out and answer questions. But at that time, Giuliani was still considered some kind of, respectable public figure, and he was running for president. And this guy who was wearing suspenders, which really struck me, was speaking for Giuliani's campaign. And a couple of Alex Jones's guys come in and start making kind of a scene.
What's this site called again? Or what is it?
InfoWarriors?
Infowars.
InfoWars, yeah, right.
Yeah.
And I don't know, they were accusing Giuliani of, knowing about 9/11 and all this shit. But they got...
Seriously?
Yeah. Well, they got the police involved. And the police came and
Really?
And arrested these kids. So I was like, shit.
Wow.
Yeah. So
For what? I mean,
they had press passes. I mean, I didn't really agree with what they were doing, but
well, it's
know.
probably good to get them out of there anyway. They're probably just annoying as shit.
yeah, I would have probably ejected them, but I think the arresting was pretty extreme. So I followed him out. I recorded some of it, and I sent it to Alex Jones just because I was like, they'll probably want it. And then the next day, his producer emails me, and they wanted to pay me like $100 for the video. And I said I didn't want it. And
That's a good story.
Yeah.
That's a good story.
I figured that would come to bite me in the ass someday. So it's like, nah.
Wouldn't you love wouldn't you love that $100 now though?
Yeah. I wish I had it now.
You're $100. You're $100 short of your rent, Mr. Caesar. Fuck.
God damn it,
Alex Jones is just like, yes.
But they asked me to go on the show, and I was interviewed by Alex Jones.
Wow. Seriously.
Yeah, it was a pretty surreal experience, man.
What was it like?
Well, it's like
Well, okay, when you went on the show, like a phoner, or were you like on the show?
I was just over the phone.
Okay.
But he's like, it's fucking Alex Jones. He's like, hey, so tell me what happened, It's like Hulk Hogan interviewing you.
And it's stupid fucking voice.
And then I come in, and I was like maybe 22, and I was such a bigger Yankee little douchebag, way bigger Yankee douchebag than I am now.
Mm-hmm.
And I was,
Sure.
So he's just like all crazy in Texas, and I'm like, well, Alex, what appeared to happen is blah blah blah. And as you know, I could just tell he thought I was a fucking loser.
Get this fucking guy off the
Yeah.
phone right now.
He says, "Oh, they just came up and arrested him. That is unbelievable." I was like, "Oh yes, that's right, Alex. That's what
You
happened."
should have hammed up the story. You should have been like, they use fucking tasers everywhere. Like,
They were making all these like Freemason hand signals, dude. It was crazy. I couldn't believe it.
I knew it.
So obvious.
Do you have audio? Do you have audio of that?
Probably somewhere.
We gotta play that next show if you have it.
Yeah, I'll try and find
Oh
that.
god, because that's gonna be great.
I really sound
Oh
like
my
a
God.
little douchebag on it, dude. It's
So what?
hilarious. No,
You
I
sound
mean that
You
all
sound
the
like a little
better.
douchebag right now. So yeah, it's-
No, yeah, I'll try and find it. I guess it might have been lost to the annals of internet, but
I was trying to find this this clip from again Opie and Anthony where they had Alex Jones on like 2 days after the marathon bombing, and
who was this?
Alex? This is Opie and Anthony.
Oh,
They had
yeah.
Alex Jones on 2
Oh
days.
yeah, I remember
after.
this.
And some woman from Chelmsford who knew the guy who got both of his legs blown off.
The guy that's been at like Fenway Park,
Yeah.
and, with
That
the cowboy hat guy.
Yes, with that guy.
Yep.
Somebody who knew that guy who was from like Chelmsford, just cursing him out and just like asking him direct questions like, "What about this? Do you believe is a false flag? Like, tell me, are you saying that, that he didn't really get his legs blown off?" And he wouldn't answer. He would answer like circular. He would go around the question like, "Well, when we're talking about the marathon bombing, we're talking about all these other countries, blah, blah, blah." She's like, no, answer me directly. And he wouldn't answer directly, and then she was just tearing his ass apart.
He also went on this pretty crazy misogynistic rant about her. Didn't he tell her to get back in the kitchen or something crazy like that?
He sure did.
Yeah.
He
I was
sure
like,
did.
Jesus.
He sure did. I wish I had it queued up. Maybe next time. But I don't want to keep everybody here while I queue it up. But
yeah.
But it was actually a really good clip. I wonder if this is it.
Do we know? Do we know anything else? Nothing new overnight?
Sorry.
No, they searched some apartment in Riviera.
Riviera. I remember
Riviera.
when they did that.
Yeah, the poor kid.
Yeah.
And nobody gives a shit about that kid. Like, everybody's like, well, somebody actually said that like he shouldn't have looked like a terrorist. Like, what the fuck?
Ah, well.
It's just some asshole.
Typical Boston.
Typical Boston. I don't know. I don't think that's typical of Boston. Come on. Be fair.
That's typical.
You're typical.
You are.
All right. Well, I'll have that. I'll have that for next show because I think it's actually an interesting clip.
It is good.
I think it's actually really funny to hear her tear into him, and he's eventually at the end of it, he's just like frustrated. He's like, "Fuck you."
Yeah.
He's just like, "Okay, well, you get nothing." And then it's just obvious that and Opie and Anthony are just letting it go. I mean, I think they're playing both sides. Like she actually said something like, "You have a responsibility to report this right," and they're like, actually, we got to stop you on that because, he can say whatever he wants to. It doesn't mean that he's not a fucking asshole, but he's, this is essentially freedom of the press and all that kind of bullshit, freedom of speech.
Yeah, but there are responsibilities.
Well, I don't think he has a responsibility to anybody, just himself. I mean, there's a social responsibility, but he's choosing not to follow it.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, you can't go around making things up. That's not
But he is, though.
journalistic.
He is. Well,
I'm not saying he should be thrown in jail, but
you know what, though? So we were just talking about this, actually. So the difference between libel, right? What he's doing is not really libel because technically it's like his opinion, isn't it? Like, he's not really he's presenting facts in earnest. Like, he in earnest, or is at least presenting it as he actually believes it. Right? So how is the stuff that he writes not libel? How is it? How is it not libelous? Because any reasonable person can say, well, you know what? The things he's saying are not true.
yeah. Well, I think the courts recognize that public figures, there's a higher bar. I think there's people basically accept if you're going to be a public figure that you're going to endure these. I don't know. Basically, for a politician to sue a journalist for libel, I can't even think of an example. It's so unusual.
So is Alex Jones a journalist or is he a personality? I think that calling him a journalist would be an insult to journalists, right?
Sure. I do have a pretty Big Tent philosophy about that word, though.
What do you mean?
I think that it's pretty bullshit when people try to navel gaze about who is and who isn't a journalist.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just an amateur, so don't get offended at me, Chris.
No, it's just you hear that kind of shit all the time from like, should bloggers be journalists? Like,
Well,
yeah.
I mean, I mean, that's the new medium, though. right? I
Yeah,
mean, it's,
exactly. It's a new. Yeah.
Excuse me. I mean, even websites are becoming outdated, right? Where it's everything's on. I mean, journalism now is now done through Twitter, right? You know what I mean, or through like social media like that. You know what I mean? Where I don't want to say that websites are dinosaurs, but I mean, people don't have that attention span anymore, right?
Yeah, well, they're secondary, I think, to the social media stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, because most people say, "Oh yeah, I saw this on Twitter," right?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Or Facebook or
Exactly. Anyway,
Reddit.
So for next show, we should have that Skylar thing. I should read that. I want to read that because that kind of reminds me of. Did you ever see the movie Knocked Up?
No.
No,
Never saw it.
It was okay. I mean, I don't think it was. I think it was like the beginning of the decline of Judd Apatow, but Katherine Heigl, she played like the main, one of the protagonists in that, right, where she was the one knocked up. And after the movie came out, she was like, she came out, spoke out against it, like, this portrays women in a bad light, and it makes women look like shrill harpies. And I'm like, I'm me myself. I'm like, when did that movie come out? Like mid 2000s, and I'm like 26, 27 maybe even 25 when it came out, and I'm looking at it and I'm like, okay, as a guy in his mid 20s, I think Seth Rogen kind of looks like a fucking dick in this movie. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Practically speaking, right? I think Katherine Heigl just is portraying a pregnant woman. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, sure.
Like really, but after that point where she like, she's basically just slamming the movie. She's basically just slagging shit all over the movie. And it's like nobody. I had no idea she was on Grey's Anatomy. I had no fucking clue. I had no idea who she was before Knocked Up. So it just, and she went on to do shit movies after that. And it's just like to throw shit on the movie that kind of got you a wider audience. I don't know if it's brave or stupid. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure she really did believe those things that it's misogynistic and blah blah blah. But it just seems like such an easy thing to say and so lazy. And I didn't think it was misogynistic at all. I don't know. Maybe women have a different point of view on it, but I mean, overall, I thought it was just a stupid movie. You know what I mean? Like, it was just, it was a subpar Judd Apatow movie, quite honestly. I mean, there were parts that were funny, but, it was for Judd Apatow, it was subpar. So I didn't think of anything other than, wow, this isn't as good as 40-Year-Old Virgin, or, you know what I mean? So I don't know.
I never saw that.
It's okay. What,
Yeah.
40-Year-Old Virgin?
Either one.
You've never seen 40-Year-Old Virgin?
No, I don't.
Oh,
You can never watch movies.
Oh God, you don't have Netflix?
I do, but I watch TV on it. I don't care for movies.
Shaking my. Well, all right, I can understand that.
They're so long.
I was just gonna say that.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that. Like, I haven't seen the movie Heat. Have you seen it? Well,
Heat? No.
Heat. Yeah, it's a great movie. Great movie. I from what I'm told,
I
can't
see.
sit through the 3 hours.
Oh.
When I think about, in fact, I remember going to see the Lord of the Rings movies, and like, I think I fell asleep during one of them.
I found those so boring.
I
found the books boring.
I didn't read the books because again, too long.
Yeah.
Too long, but
They're just, like,
but
walking.
you know what though? It's just not. That's just not the genre that I'm. That's so loud. The whistle.
Oh, I'm just whistling.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, you were just the regular whistler. Pipe down, choir boy. But do a review of Funny People. I've never seen Funny People. Heard it's depressing though. Crinkle 2. 2 crinkles.
Crinkle Squad.
I gotta find an easier way to say crinkle. Just can't say it fast.
Yeah.
Especially after a beer.
It's a
and
weird name.
No dinner. Sean Bean died. Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I found the second movie good. The second, the Twin Towers. That was good. But I thought that Return of the King and the Fellowship of the Ring, is that the first one?
Yeah.
I found it just so slow, so fucking boring. And there was so many. From what I've heard, Peter Jackson can only fit so much into the 3 hours. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
there were so
big
many
books.
There were so many areas that got left out that just can't be crammed into a movie. I don't know, just boring. Snooze fest.
Yeah.
Just like
I
the
feel
show
the same
right now.
way, man.
Just like the show right now.
Well,
All
not
right.
that bad.
Related to the Alex Jones thing.
Yep.
Okay.
Sure.
Let's talk about Elizabeth Hasselbeck.
Oh,
Because
man.
oh my god, I've been laughing at this shit.
One of the great public intellectuals of American culture.
Let me see if I can bring up this video here.
She's
Now Elizabeth Hasselbeck, is she any relation to the NFL quarterback Matt Hasselbeck?
I am the last person you should ask.
Fuck.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know, we need
see that,
we need to
though.
have a sports person on this show.
Yeah, we do.
There's a person I have in mind. I'll talk to you later about it. But yeah, we need to have a sports segment. I think.
Okay.
Like every other week or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Just because we're in the thick of a sports season right now.
We are, yeah.
We
Are
are.
we? I didn't know that.
I know you
Are
didn't
we?
know.
Oh, okay.
I know you didn't know.
The thick of it.
Full contact badminton does not count.
Wow.
I know. You'll be surprised to know that is no longer an Olympic sport.
Full contact badminton? I didn't know that they had that.
No, they don't.
Oh, that's funny.
Play along with a bit.
Ah, man.
Fuck,
Well, if you're
fucking
gonna
this-
make sports jokes, dude, I'm gonna be
I'm
fucked.
sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. Let's see. Okay. So basically, Elizabeth Hasselbeck,
Yeah.
she says that instead of a gun registry, we need a video game registry.
Right.
Oh God, is that infuriating? Just even talking about this just infuriates me. But let me bring up. Just looking at her stupid face too.
Can you play the video of her
Yeah.
saying it?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Let me play it without deafening everybody. Here we go. I can turn on the video.
Because in her own fucking stupid, earnest voice, it's a hell of a thing.
All right.
Witnesses say the shooter, 34-year-old former Navy reservist Aaron Alexis, was aiming at helpless workers down on the first floor from a perch a few stories higher. And authorities say he did gain entry to the Navy Yard with a valid pass he had from his job as an hourly subcontractor. And his security clearance for that job was reportedly approved just this summer. Back to you in New York.
All right, Peter, live at the Navy Yard. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Peter. Well, certainly this topic's already taken a turn again, left making this about gun control.
Just look at the cover of the New York Daily News today.
Exactly.
Same gun, different sleigh.
Right.
It shows this AR-15 right there. What's interesting about the AR-15, they found it with this guy, but they don't know whether or not he brought it in. They do at this point believe that he went in with a shotgun, but then it sounds like he shot a security guy and then took his handgun. And there's a possibility that the AR-15 was actually from somebody.
All right. Now I heard that there was no AR-15. I heard that is not true.
That's what I've heard as well.
Okay. Because there's a big deal being made about the AR-15, which say what you want about the definition of assault rifle or whether or not that type of gun should be illegal. It should be completely irrelevant here.
Yeah, I mean, there's still a lot of questions. Number one, how do you get through there? I mean, here you need a secure ID. It seems like he had it, but
Probably probably no metal detectors though. I never once walked through a metal detector.
Really?
Never once.
That always, because I've gone into courthouses and stuff.
Yeah.
And anytime they saw my press badge, they'd be like, "Oh, go ahead."
Yeah.
And I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, like the press is never going to shoot anybody, right?
Yeah, or like I couldn't just make this with,
I know.
2 fucking seconds.
They just look at it.
It's like a laminated piece of paper.
Even if you go to the friggin' family and probate court in Cambridge, they have a metal detector. I had to put my cell phone in a bucket. You know what I mean? Before I went in there, family and probate court, for Christ's sake. Not even criminal court.
Well, and let alone any court employee definitely never had to do it. Yeah.
is there a metal detector there? Being that it's a
already
it's a
covered
military
that
complex, doesn't seem to have been the case. But once he did get in, that is the story. Now you were talking about Elizabeth a second ago.
The thing is that if you put a metal detector in there, people would be up in arms about it.
Yep.
Like, oh well, why are you putting a metal detector in here? violating my rights.
Yep.
You know, it's like, just walk through the fucking metal detector, will you? Just keep me safe. I don't care about your rights. I care about I care about a bullet not going through my fucking head.
Well, in a government building, I mean, it's a little different, I think.
It is, but
you know,
people would still. You wouldn't even believe that'll be a whole other show, but you wouldn't even believe the stuff people got up in arms about it. That fucking disaster shit show of a place.
What is it? Is this about gun control, or is this about a guy that has a history of drinking a lot, playing video games a lot, and a few shooting incidents? For example, it didn't take long for Jesse Jackson to write, "Aren't we all to blame for Monday's tragic shooting? Our addiction to violence coupled with our access to guns." Senator Dianne Feinstein, this is renewing her call for new gun law control because of the deadly shooting.
A new gun law
When
control.
will enough be enough? Congress must stop shirking its responsibility and resume a thoughtful debate.
I think something that happens often
Doesn't
in a
he
situation
always
as tragic as
sound
this
like
is
a,
that we start to
hold on one second.
spread blame where possibly it doesn't belong, right? I think we all know
Sorry.
where the blame
I've lost my
truly
focus
belongs,
here.
and that would be.
All right.
What's that guy's name? It's not Steve Ducey, but the other
Steve Ducey. Yes, Ducey.
The other guy. Whoever was just talking right now, he always sounds like an 8th grader to me. That's like a news anchor for a day.
See, co-host Steve Ducey and Brian Kilmeade.
Yeah, Kilmeade. Yeah, that guy always sounds like he's a little kid to me.
We have
like
a
he's the class president. Oh, we do.
We have a caller, but caller, just hang on. Hang on. I'm gonna just finish this video. There's like 2 minutes left in this video, and then we'll take your call. Just hang with us. Gotta get back to the stupid tab.
Jesus Christ.
I know. I'm sorry. I got so many tabs open. All right, here we go.
Right in Alexis's hands.
He also has a history, not only, that's a good point, as of course the mayor brought up, but you talk about this guy's background, as we look into it. He's got a friend who said, yeah, he had an obsession with video games, shooting video games. In fact, you know, he would come over and he'd be playing so long, these video games, these shooting games, we'd have to give him dinner. We'd feed him while he continued to...
yeah, I've heard this sound clip before. So we had to feed him.
Oh my God.
Can you imagine the level of intensity?
Okay.
Like,
First of all, they're much older. They're like these guys. I think that Hasselbeck is probably a fossil by now, but this douchey, he's got to be
40, 50.
He's got to be 50. He's
Yeah,
gonna be pushing.
50.
He looks it.
Yeah.
He looks it. I mean, just he's got a 5 head going on, so it's got to be. Ooh, yes. Burn. Face. But I don't know. They don't get the whole video game thing. They don't get it. But my main point, which I think many other people make this point. Millions of people, hundreds of millions of people own video games. There are not hundreds of millions of mass shootings.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the whole point. I don't know. Just to jump ahead in this clip, is she advocating for a video game registry? Like, seriously? Did you hear the rest of this clip?
To stay on them.
A
little bit later, Dr. Dablo will talk about, is there a relationship between shooting video games and the way you act in real life?
Well, and are more people susceptible? You know, are more people maybe more susceptible than others to playing video games?
He liked
Is
first-person
there a
shooter
link between
game.
a certain age group or demo in 20 to 34-year-old men, perhaps, that are playing these video games, and then their violent actions? We have yet to find out.
Well, I mean, unfortunately, you know, it seems like every time something bad like this happens, we look at, is there a connection?
The line underneath killer culture is past mass shooters were video game addicts. Everybody, okay. The past mass shooters, quote unquote, okay, which I don't know how they're. I think Mother Jones has a different definition of mass shooter, and I think that was the whole Piers Morgan thing, right, where he was quoting Mother Jones and. The gun advocates were saying, well, you can't go by Mother Jones' numbers, right? Like,
I thought Mother Jones got that from the FBI, but
I don't know if Mother Jones did get it from the FBI, or either that or Mother Jones's numbers were about were not so much on what the minimum for mass shooter is, but or mass killer is, but what the number of killings of from guns. I'm sorry, the number of mass shootings from using one person using a gun in the open air. I think that the numbers differed there because I don't know if they were including gang violence, drive-by shootings, that kind of thing.
Basically, one person killing 4 people or more in one instance.
Okay, so anyway,
between video games and the shooter, well, take a look at some people.
Oh yeah. Every one of these guys, okay, Harris, Klebold, except for Andrews Breivik, I don't know, but James Holmes, all these guys are young, okay, except for this other guy here. They're all young, and it says here all were big gamers. Everybody under like 26 years old plays video games often.
Yeah, or a great deal of them. Yeah,
a great deal of them. I mean, you play video games on your fucking phone.
Yeah,
for Christ's
exactly.
Sake.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember being, in like 2nd grade and playing Contra.
All day long, yeah.
Which, I also remember.
And I shot up my school.
Yeah, me too.
Joke was on them.
Yep, that's right.
Yep.
I sure taught them. Taught those motherfuckers.
Thank you, Contra.
Yep, totally. Contra taught me how to do it with with a spread gun.
Yeah, the spray gun really came in handy.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of some other video games that should go on the registry, like Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong should go on there because that
was a terribly frightening game.
They should have a monkey registry.
Yeah, dude.
Yep. Or no, a gorilla registry, I guess.
But yeah, remember when
Bubble Bobble was shit.
What were some like Doom was really controversial back in like.
Was it Doom or Wolfenstein?
I think both.
Because I remember Wolfenstein. Because Wolfenstein, Doom, you were shooting like shooting and killing like creatures, but Wolfenstein you were killing Nazis.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It was like I remember playing that game in like 6th grade.
Yeah, of course.
And I'm like,
it was great.
Great, I'm killing fucking Mecha Hitler.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it made me feel good. Made me feel like a patriot.
Yeah, absolutely.
But all right, let's take this phone call because John has been patiently hanging on. Don't sigh. I like John.
It's gonna be some Chinese joke.
He's gonna pick a different ethnicity.
Yeah.
John.
Am I on the? Hey, are you there?
Yes,
hey,
sir.
John.
All right. How does it sound? Is it okay?
I think it sounds all right.
Sounds great.
All right, good. That was actually not my joke. That was my Spec Ops buddy told me that joke actually.
So what's going on, John?
Anyway,
what's a good word? It was a good joke. I liked it, but
I knew that you guys
I laughed.
You actually appreciated humor, but
Chris doesn't.
I think the key with this video game controversy and this Navy Yard thing, it's shocking to me. Well, maybe not shocking, but it's shockingly sad that we ask why these things happen, and then we look for these simple causal relationships. We look for the one thing. Oh, he played video games, or oh, he had access to guns, or oh, he was mentally ill. That's why he did these things. When in reality, I would argue that the real reason why these things happen is actually much more widespread throughout the societal constructs in which these people grow up. Imagine a world in which instead of people asking, is our mental health system completely fucked or are our gun laws too lax, we actually said instead, well, if we actually could say we have a very good mental health system in this country that gets people help when they need it and has removed the stigma from being in things like therapy.
Let's go while we're young.
Chris, come on.
We have a system in which gun access is reasonably restricted in such a way that enables hobbyists to obtain arms that enable them to recreate in such ways as shooting clay pigeons and hunting venison, for example. But we also live in a world in which people have a lot to live for, especially younger people, because they have promising careers and reasonable wages, livable wages even, decent places to live, access to good education. If we could say, for example, that most of us grew up with both of our parents, if not together, then at least, outside of prison. If we could say that we had a reasonable chance that if we weren't white, we wouldn't end up in prison for some minor drug offense. If we could imagine a world in which we could be, in trouble with the law for some drug thing and actually have some sort of life after that instead of being completely ruined. I imagine in that world, you wouldn't see these types of shootings. And I don't think in that world that having video games that were twice or 3 times or 4 times as violent and just as pervasive, you would have those problems at all, because it's not fucking video games. And you guys were absolutely right. Grand Theft Auto 5 came out just in time to get blamed for this controversy.
That's why I think it's a false flag.
The budget for that video game was about $280 million.
Really? Wow, really?
Now, to put that on scale,
Wait,
$280 million for a video game is bigger than the budget of most of the Hollywood movies that have come out in the past 10 years.
I hear it's pretty detailed.
That's on par with Iron Man 3. Okay, it made that money back in pre-orders alone. That's orders before it went on sale.
Jesus.
It made, in the first 24 hours of being on sale, $800 million.
Wow, dude. Wow.
If
that
there's
game looks
anything
awesome,
that's pervasive in this country, video game use is there. But if you look at people who actually, the demographics of people who play video games, they're pretty widespread. A game like Grand Theft Auto actually has mass appeal. There's all kinds of people that like it. It's also a huge name, a huge franchise, so lots of people are playing it just to be part of the conversation. Just like they might see a stupid movie like Transformers just to be part of the conversation without having much interest in it, maybe just even a passing interest in it. The demographics of people who are affected by poverty are much more widespread than the people who actually play video games. The people who are struggling in their 20s and early 30s to find meaningful work.
You mean millennials? Come
The number
on.
of people who have even bought Grand Theft Auto 5. So I think that we're looking at some more endemic issues to our society than just gun laws or just video game violence.
You know, if you think about it too, the people who played Grand Theft Auto 1, you know, they're I mean, the Grand Theft Auto 1 came out like early 2000s?
Yeah, when I was in high school, maybe even earlier.
Shit, so forever
I played
ago.
Grand Theft Auto 1 extensively.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so,
I love
mean,
that game. That
so
was great.
yeah, so I mean,
and that was considered so edgy, which is kind of hilarious.
It was, yeah. That was before the hot coffee mod.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's right. No, I mean, John, that's you made some
boring points.
No, come on, I didn't think it was boring. That's,
No.
Chris was mocking you, John.
I was making fun of you, John.
I thought that was inappropriate.
Yeah, sorry, John.
I thought you, John.
Chris is so mad that I beat him in the
That's right. That's right. Oh God, John, I listened to that
Yeah.
clip. I listen to that clip every now and then. Man, it just makes me laugh. I mean, I just wish
it's funny. It's funny.
It
It
is
was a funny episode. Yeah.
It was hilarious. Just how incredulous you were about it.
Fuck everyone.
Oh God.
God damn you all to hell.
Man. We'll have to do a rematch sometime.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I think John brings up some good points.
Okay.
I think that despite your mockery, I don't know. I did. Sorry, this keeps getting brought up where, the first person shooters are putting things in the kids' heads that shooting is okay, or that's casual and whatnot, and blah blah blah. But I don't know. I'll never ever subscribe to it. And I don't think that anybody around our age, I know I'm being very general, within 5 years of my age group, I don't think that anybody would agree. I think this is particularly people who are much older than us.
Yeah,
I don't think that. I mean, or if you're a freaking fuddy-duddy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's any evidence concluding.
No.
That, yeah, I mean.
No, I mean, shit. I played first-person shooters I'm sure we all have played first-person shooters or first-person, quote-unquote, violent games since we were, young, really young. And, to my knowledge, Chris hasn't shot anybody.
Not yet.
Now, you threatened somebody with a broom.
Yep, I did.
Naked.
Do that. Yep.
But, yeah. No, I don't know. Don't look at me like that.
Oh, sorry.
Say something, Chris.
No, I think guns are cool. What's that?
Sounds like Chris gave him the stick.
The stick.
Chris gave me the stink eye. Is what
It wasn't the stink eye. It was like, hey, how are you, pal?
I don't like that look.
Yeah, no,
don't
I was
like
just
it.
saying hi.
Don't look at me.
It's like, hey, Mike.
Don't look at me, please. Please. I'm a fuddy-duddy, and I think that the video game explanation is stupid. Yes, it is stupid. How could It's you know what? It's putting it's displacing blame. Really, I mean, it's you know, I don't know what the answer is to all this, but this is definitely not the answer. You know, video games definitely not the answer. You know, putting video games on a registry. I mean, I'm sure she was being hyperbolic and you know whatever sort of fucking pea brain she's got, but
you know the Fox News audience is like, oh yeah, they should have one.
They're eating it up.
Yeah.
They're eating it up.
That's fucking stupid.
And I don't know.
If I'm perfectly honest, I think the most frustrating thing about Elizabeth Hasselbeck, as opposed to say Ann Coulter, is that she says she does say some of the same outrageous things, but the problem for me is that Elizabeth Hasselbeck is actually a very attractive woman.
Yeah, I could see why that would bother you.
Yeah.
It seems completely unjust for her to be as pretty as she is.
I'm trying to see.
From a perch, a few stories.
Sorry. I don't know. She's looking kind of weathered. I gotta say.
Weathered.
She's looking kind of. Yeah. I mean, it's all makeup,
Yeah.
but well, I mean, certainly if you compare anybody against Ann Coulter, I mean, you know, it's.
Didn't she and Bill Maher used to fuck?
I mean, you're comparing somebody. You know, you're comparing a woman with somebody with an Adam's apple. I mean, you know, with a fake Adam's apple. I mean, that's you know. Did she go out with Bill Maher? I don't know.
Oh yeah, I think they really did.
I think so. She's gone out with a number of. I mean, Bill Maher is obviously more. I don't even know where you put his politics. Is he left? Is he not? I don't know. Or is he libertarian?
He's kind of like.
Is he one of you? Is he one of you, Chris?
I wouldn't say I'm libertarian. Yeah, I mean he's.
You said you're a libertarian socialist, are you?
Yeah, that sounds fine.
That's what you say.
Yeah. Well, when you say libertarian, I think people get a way different idea.
I think you need to define your power.
What is the difference really between being I mean, are you saying libertarian socialist because those are terms that people can generally understand?
Because it's different, John. It's different.
Syndicalist, or is there something specific about that phrasing that you like?
He's saying it because it's different. Because he wants to be different. Ooh, I'm a libertarian socialist.
That's funny.
I'm a libertarian socialist, sir.
That's funny.
I don't subscribe to your ideology, mister.
Yeah, I don't, because that's right. You're goddamn right.
Sorry. I'm sorry, Chris. I didn't mean to
disparage my worldview.
No, I mean, I would imagine that Chris's politics lie more soundly under the label of, say, Chomskyism or Kucinicism.
Yeah, well, Chomsky calls himself a libertarian socialist. So
he calls himself an anarcho-syndicalist, as I understand.
It sounds like.
Yeah, well, you can be both.
It sounds like the fucking labradoodle of politics.
Oh, I don't get that joke.
I think it's honestly quite a shame that the anarchists with a little a, that is, are considered such a threat when all they really care about is social justice.
John hangs out a lot on the anarchist boards on Reddit.
Oh yeah,
which I think are very funny places.
Wait, isn't that one of the boards that got shut down, or is that because I didn't? No, am I thinking of atheism? No,
I think it got taken off the front page.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's why I mean taken off the front page. Yeah, because it's just a cesspool.
It is. Well, the people on the atheist board are there's some interesting people, but
I mean it's mostly just trolling though, isn't it? Like,
oh, they're crazy.
That's like the troll. It's like the new trolling proving ground, isn't it?
And they really are nuts. They really are nuts.
Well, I think my Reddit experience improved greatly when I unsubscribed from Raytheism and subscribed to our Magic Sky Fairy.
That shit is hilarious. Yeah.
Enlightening.
Chris
actually you could replace any of the major subreddits with the circle jerk version thereof and have a much better.
Yeah, they all have circle jerk versions now.
I love those subreddits.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, there's the Magic Sky Fairy is good. There's a couple other ones.
Chris actually introduced me to Reddit. Like I wasn't a Reddit.
John introduced me to Reddit.
I knew about Reddit, but I just was like, this is just like the big scary world to me. But then, then eventually I got on the Opie and Anthony subreddit and Ron and Fez subreddit, and then I kind of dip my toes in the rest of Reddit every now and then, but just a really scary place. I don't know.
Well,
I don't know. It's good to get legal advice. Or well, I'm pointing at you, Chris. Where, you're seeking out people who are more knowledgeable than you. I mean, it's much easier than posting on fucking Yahoo Answers, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, absolutely. You'll get like serious answers to your questions most of the time.
You will.
Yeah.
And you'll get a few assholes, but they're kind of funny.
And they'll get downvoted.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the upvoting and downvoting, I think that's good, but it probably gets abused too at the same time. But
it does.
Well, I think if you really want to get serious about participating in Reddit, whether that's just reading a lot of it or contributing, I would argue that the hive mind is a powerful force, and people can find themselves wrapped up in it very easily, whether no matter what their political bent. And I would recommend that anyone who takes Reddit seriously go through and look at the Reddits that they're subscribed to, and then look for the subreddits, especially if they're subscribed to some of the bigger ones, that are either the circle jerk version or one that's completely anti whatever they're on.
Yeah.
Just to see the back and forth. And for example, if you, and I no longer subscribe to the men's rights subreddit, but if you
I peruse that one.
If you were to subscribe to the men's rights subreddit, you should also subscribe to Shit Reddit Says. And if you subscribe to
God, they're
Says,
crazy too.
You should probably subscribe to SRS Sucks. And you'll find that most of the time, nobody's right.
Yeah.
Well, Reddit is pretty. I mean, I'm sorry, John. I didn't mean to step over you, but just thoughts come into my head sometimes, and they leave just as quickly. So, just like I had a great point to bring up on this phone call about the guns and video games thing, and it just gone. But I don't know that this was a big thing in the Opie and Anthony world, but like 7 years ago, Opie made this video. Okay, and they used to do a walkover between they used to have a terrestrial FM show, and they used to have a Sirius XM show, and between the shows, they were in two different buildings, so they would actually broadcast on Sirius them walking over from one building to another, and it was kind of funny. You just meet some characters on the way or whatever. So there was this homeless guy that homeless Andrew, that used to talk to them like every day when they walked over, like every other day. And this guy, he puts out a cake, and he's like, "Oh, look, I got this cake." He's homeless, but obviously somebody gave him an expired cheesecake or whatever. So, of course, what does Opie do? He's like, "Put that on the ground for me." He jumps on the cake. He jumps on the cake and squashes the cake. And after the radio was off, which 2 seconds after he's stomping the cake, they gave him like $100 or $200 or like $1,000 or something like that, and he only used it to get booze anyway. So anyway, Reddit made a big deal about it. Like somebody from Reddit found that video and posted it on our videos.
Oh, okay.
And it was like number one. It was like on the front page for a long time, and like all these people were coming into the Opie and Anthony subreddit, like, you guys are fucking assholes. Like, how could you like this? And it was like, people would bombard Opie on Twitter, and they would call into the show and stuff. I'm like, you guys are fucking assholes for supporting this guy, and blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah, giving somebody $100 for a cake is hardly seems fair. You're just picking on a homeless guy. And it's like, this was 7 years ago. You know what I mean? It's like, but the that's one of the reasons why Reddit is scary to me, because like the fucking the outrage, like the outrage could have powered a small city for like 2 months.
Yeah, they do get a little crazy. Yeah,
like really, I mean, just the amount of outrage, the amount of people that flooded the Opie and Anthony subreddit, the people who were still saying shit about him on Twitter, who made videos about it, like people crying on videos about this fucking 7-year-old video. The guy's dead. The homeless guy is dead. He died like 3 years ago. Oh. So it's like it's not even like he can look at this video and be like, yeah, I agree totally. He's dead. So
yeah,
anyway, that's one of the reasons why Reddit kind of scares the shit out of me, because the power of all these fucking nut jobs who are taking things out of context and mostly mostly ill-informed, just kind of like a herd mentality.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
You know,
sure.
that's just Reddit. I guess it would be a good, you know, kind of a social psychology experiment of herd mentality. But that's one of the reasons why Reddit scares the shit out of me, because somebody could say something completely incorrect, and like 100 people could, you know, 100 people could upvote it and be like, oh yeah, you know, I totally fucking agree. Fuck this person, and they'd be ruined.
Yeah, after the Boston bombing, they had that whole subreddit set up to find.
Oh
those
my god,
guys.
yes.
Yeah.
And you know okay, that's what crowdsourcing, right? Which sure, which I fucking hate that word, but
yeah,
crowdsourcing, right? But seriously, like getting all those eyes on that picture. I mean, one person not gonna be able to do it by himself, and getting 1,000 eyes on the picture is good, but if you consider like 20% of those people are just fucking morons.
Exactly.
That's a huge percentage.
Yeah, it is a huge.
Even if it was
Why
1%.
come up with a figure so low?
Yeah, I know. 50%. 50% of 1,000 people. I mean, there were thousands of people looking at that too.
Yeah.
So, even if it were a low percentage, even if it were like 10% of people were just complete fucking morons looking at that, but it's like 100,000 people looking at that, it's like that's 10,000 people who are fucking morons. But it's the thing is it's partially fueled also by everybody wants to be, and this is partially what fuels conspiracy theorists as well. Everybody wants to be that person who's got the knockout punch, who's like, yeah, I found this.
Yeah.
I exposed this. Everybody with the internet provides that sort of medium where somebody could be like, yes, I found this, and I'm the one who takes the credit for all this, and everybody wants to be that person, and it's just like, obviously leads people to see things that aren't really there and believe things that aren't true and all that bullshit.
Well, you can rustle a lot of jimmies if you try to take away someone's internet points.
Rustle jimmies. that phrase cracks me up.
It's true. It's true. Actually, by posting on both, just by mere virtue of the fact that I was posting on both the men's rights subreddit and the shit Reddit subreddit, I was banned just because I posted on both.
Really? Holy shit!
I could see that.
There's such a it's a very tribal mentality, and while I would say I'm probably more inclined to agree these days with shit Reddit says, it's probably more of a 60-40 split rather than a 80-20. They are very insular, and they do not like outside opinions that speak outside of the norm. No. That's shocking because they both argue that the other is so insular.
It challenges their worldview, and if you have any sort of people who are so like you said, like insular like that, when you challenge their worldview, it's just like like the people who believe in the moon hoax.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they have to believe that the moon hoax has to be true to them, or else their whole worldview is upset, and they have to adopt new views on things. They're just too lazy, really. But all right, John. Thank you for the call. We're gonna let you go because Chris is getting restless, and I can see him. He's squirming in his chair.
Yeah, I'm getting nervous.
Definitely appreciate the call, and maybe we'll talk to you next time.
Yeah, I'll talk to you later. Have a good one.
Yeah, bye bye. All right, Chris. We'll wrap this up. We didn't get to like all the things I wanted to get to.
I know.
It's okay.
It is okay.
Yeah, is it?
I think it's great.
I mean, I think it's okay, but do you think it's okay? There we go. It's not the end of the show until we have the music.
Yeah, now it feels real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So once again, I didn't beg for Amazon traffic. I think I should just give up on that.
Yeah,
I don't think anybody's.
We'll never get money. We'll never do anything successful.
Why do you get like this toward the end of the show? You get so down,
angry, and just
What's to be angry about? This was a good show.
It's just a lot.
This was a good show. We had good conversation. We had good topics. We had content and outline.
Just got a lot going on right now.
Chris, you'll find a job. It's okay. It's okay, Chris.
It's just a lot of stuff.
Listen, the world needs ditch diggers too.
Yeah, they do. I just don't have any experience.
Yeah, you need to submit. Yeah. You need to submit your resume with 10
I don't have
references.
Any references. Yeah.
Yeah. Shit. Well, I won't beg for Amazon, but just in case, go to our website
and do it.
The unnamedpodcast.com. You know what? I'm taking suggestions for a new show name. So
Yeah, the Big Dig Podcast.
Do we really have a caller right now?
What the fuck?
Hold on 1 second. We gotta stop this. Hold on.
Stopping the end of the
all
show.
All right.
What does this idiot want?
I'm sure they're not an idiot.
I'm sure they are. It's like the person that shows up at a restaurant when it's closing.
Well, but you still serve them, though, because they're a customer, and you want them to come back. Hello, caller.
Hey, gentlemen.
Hello, Joseph.
How you guys been?
Oh,
good,
been
Joe. How are
fantastic.
you?
Joe, you single-handedly put the brakes on the end of the show.
You did, yeah. You stopped it.
Yeah, I figured I'd get it before you signed off. You know.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to talk to you, Joe. What's going on? What have you been occupying yourself with since the Whitey trial ended?
Sorry, since what?
Since the Whitey trial ended.
No, I've just been very busy with work.
Oh.
You know, which has been a good thing. You know.
That's good.
I feel sorry for the guy who stole your wallet, Chris.
Yeah, Chris, did you get pickpocketed or what?
I don't know what happened with that. It's so weird.
Did your girlfriend take the wallet? It's a hot pink wallet. So.
It's a hot pink wallet.
If
it's
anybody's
a very
seen,
hip little wallet.
If anybody's seen a hot pink wallet in Downtown Crossing, please.
It's not a chick's wallet.
Please,
it's mine. So
it says "bad motherfucker" on it. Is that what it says?
It says ghetto princess.
Does it have
my favorite.
Hello Kitty on it?
Yeah. It's got I don't know. Done with that joke.
Wow, you really
palmed that
wow.
one.
you really ran that shit into the ground. That's
ghetto princess. That's good. I'll leave it at that.
I'm glad that was you instead of me.
Yeah.
Oh. I'm so late on the
good
fucking
timing
sound.
on that.
God, I got so many tabs open.
What a burn.
Fuck.
What a burn.
Fuck you.
Yep.
Joe, please bring something good to this podcast, please.
Hey, you know, it was interesting you were talking about the lie detector test earlier. Penn and Teller did a really good show on how bullshit lie detectors are.
Really?
How completely and thoroughly unreliable.
Well,
I'm sure
I do believe that.
On YouTube, you can find it.
Huh.
I do like the way Penn and Teller break down shit, like the the immunization stuff. I think I posted that on Facebook, but they basically, whoop. Oh, my headphones went out. There we go.
Uh-oh.
So, okay. Anyway, I mean, basically, vaccines causing autism and all that stuff. They're like, yeah, it's bullshit. You know,
sure.
Yeah. But I like how they break down stuff like that. But that's interesting. I'll have to look that up on how the lie detector is. Again, I'm totally naive. The lie detector could have been, the polygraph could have been bullshit. But I wasn't gonna take my chance on losing my job. You know what I mean? You can, if I didn't pass that polygraph, I could have lost my job. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which kind of, technically you're not technically you're not supposed to, but if you can't get cleared for a certain program, then it's like, well, what do we have you here for? So
yeah, right.
It is scary. It's scary, and it does seem like sort of I don't know. So it does seem like voodoo a little bit, but
yeah, I could see that.
I mean, they put so many friggin' straps around you, and you truly believe it's real. Like they ask you a control question, like, tell me how old you are, but don't really tell me how old you are. Tell me you're 50. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm 50 years old, and they're like, well, look at the spike, and
yeah, Scientology.
And then, what really freaked me out about the whole thing was what they after your examination's done, the guy's like, okay, well, your polygraph looks good, but I got to take it back to the manager. Kind of like when you're buying a car and they're like, oh yeah, yeah. Kind of like when you're buying a car and you're like, I'm gonna pay $20,000 for this car. Well, I gotta go back to the manager. That's what they do. They're like, oh yeah, I gotta take the results back to the manager and see if you passed. And I'm like, ugh. Meanwhile, I'm in fucking King of Prussia, Pennsylvania. You know what I mean? Which actually, King of Prussia is actually interesting. And they have the biggest mall in America as far as store square footage.
Oh.
The Mall of America is the biggest as far as how big the mall is. Where they got a fucking roller coaster in the middle of it. But
oh well, who cares? You want this commercial.
Well, the thing with the King of Prussia mall was that it had 6 of the same store, which I think is kind of cheating.
Like what?
I mean,
Starbucks or
no? Like a friggin'
JCPenney's.
No, the anchor stores they have one of those, but say I don't know, like a GameStop. They have 3 GameStops.
Oh, weird.
Like GameStop in the North Wing. The mall, walking around the mall, it took me a couple hours to walk around the entire
Wow.
The entire kind of surface of the mall. But
scary.
Yeah, but it was interesting. It was something to do while I was waiting for my flight.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's.
There's some real easy ways to defeat a polygraph too, and a lie detector.
So what ways have you heard of?
You know, I have. It's been a while since I saw the show, but believe it or not, part of the process was squeezing your butt cheeks together at certain questions.
Right. Yeah. And the polygraph that I took, I mean, which was just like it wasn't anything intense. It was just like, can anybody blackmail you? But like a counterintelligence polygraph. But they had a thing sitting under. I had to sit on in a special chair, almost like an electric chair, to be quite honest. Like I thought I was gonna get fucking fried that day. But you have to sit your ass down on this this uncomfortable metal plate. You know what I mean? Like, and you can feel it. Like you could feel it's like pressure sensitive because it kind of moves a little bit when you move. And supposedly, from what I've seen, that defeats the clenching your butt cheeks together. Supposedly, I mean because supposedly it's that sensitive.
The science behind it, though, is rather absurd.
I mean, it does seem sort of subjective. It does seem sort of subjective. Like,
yeah.
Like, I mean, how do you know that I don't have a heart problem, or how do you know that I don't have like a problem that makes me twitch? You know what I mean? Like, you're supposed to disclose those, but like, what if I don't even know?
Yeah.
I mean, like, what if there was some reason that because they put you on heart monitor, they put you on a perspiration monitor, like for real, like a perspiration monitor.
Perspiration monitor.
Yeah.
Did you ever know a good liar to sweat?
Wait, say it again, Joe.
Did you ever know someone who was a good liar who even sweat? Never.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although supposedly,
look you right in the eye and you'll believe what they're telling you.
Supposedly, if someone's lying to you, they're looking up and to the left. I think it is, or to their left.
Yeah,
like
I've heard that.
Yeah,
supposedly.
The good ones aren't, though.
Supposedly, I just look straight ahead at the wall. Like I'm just well, that's what he told me to do too. He's like, look straight ahead at that wall, and answer. I mean, the questions were all yes or no answer. Like there was no, like after the specific leg of the examination was done, where you'd answer the yes or no questions. Then you can go into it. Like, tell me why you answered yes to this, or is there anything you want to tell me about your prior, what we just talked about, or he would actually tell you the questions that he was going to ask you when the, the segment coming up, and like, if you have anything to disclose, tell me now. It's like, but then the other thing about that is that you start thinking like, holy shit, am I leaving anything out? And you like, your mind races, your heart rate goes up, and like, I'm just concentrating on breathing at a normal rate, keeping my, I'm thinking about a million things. I'm like, when am I going to go home? How long am I been in this place? Like, where is this room? Because they lead you through like a maze of, to kind of disorient you a little bit. And, and the room that they have you in is like this just vanilla room with like a friggin' chair with like straps on it and stuff. It's just like, freaks me out. I don't know. It was a weird, the polygraph examiner I had was actually pretty cool, but he was, when it was down to business time, it was down to business time.
Yeah, that's pretty surreal.
I think I told the story before, but the security director for the facility that I used to work in, he had to take the lifestyle polygraph, which again is the heavy duty one. This guy is like a very like Joe Friday, like Jack Webb type, very dry sense of humor. So he's not the type to kind of crack a joke in an inappropriate situation, but. So this guy had to go take his lifestyle poly, and he goes into the room, gets in the room with the polygraph examiner. Polygraph examiner is just sitting there like super serious. Paul opens up his jacket and says, "Oh, I have a list of questions here that my wife wanted you to ask me." And he said the polygraph examiner looked up and said, "Sit down, sir." And Paul's like, I started sweating profusely after that. I'm like, why would you do that?
Wow.
Why would you even I'm like, I think that's hilarious.
Yeah, it's funny.
I think it's hilarious, but why would you even do that? It's so stupid. But yeah, they're all business. Apparently, they have most of them have a psych background from what I hear. But I mean, they could be TSA employees for all I know. But all right, well, Joe, I gotta let you go because again, Chris is getting squirmy. But
yeah,
thank you very much for calling,
pissed.
and please call us back.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Yeah, please call us back. All right. Later.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. Let's try this again. Let's try the outro again. That was good though. It was a good call.
I guess.
You guess. Why don't you like the listeners?
They're so dumb.
They're not dumb.
They are
John,
so dumb.
John had great points. Joe brought up interesting. He got interesting anecdotes out of me.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that you don't have much life experience, but you're seeing the world from your bedroom.
Yeah, dude. I try not to have a lot of life experience, to be honest with you.
Do you put on the travel? I'm sorry, Nat Geo, and just like, wow.
No, I would never do that.
No.
No.
Of course not. You're just
I don't
typical,
have a TV that works.
You're typical American scum. That's what you are.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you think outside $4.95 is fucking. It's like dragons out there.
Yeah, I would say outside of 93.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. That's right. You consider north of Melrose like the great white suburban north.
Ugh, Jesus.
You are just. You're very sheltered.
Malden has really.
You're very.
Kept me pretty sheltered.
You're a very sheltered white suburban boy.
Yeah.
All right. Visit our website, not even www, theUnnamedPodcast.com, and I'm taking suggestions for a new name.
Yeah,
and it's not going to be the
podcast.
It's not going to be the Big Dick Podcast.
It is going to be the Big Dick Podcast.
It's not going to be.
It is going to be that. I think.
It's not.
Big old dick.
It's
podcast.
It's not the Big Dick Podcast. Not the Cock Cast. Not the anything to do with cocks.
Big fat
dicks.
Dicks.
Nothing.
Big old dick.
Nothing. I prefer if Dick were out of it, actually.
The Dick Cavett Show?
No, he sucked too. So, also, you can leave us a voicemail on the site. Look at the blue tab on the left when you open up the site. Send us an email at feedback@theUnnamedPodcast.com. And, well...
like us on Facebook.
Yeah, like us on Facebook or Twitter, too. Fuck yourself, Chris. Bye. Oh, no.
Oh,
Nope,
what a mistake.
No, we're not starting that again. All right.
What a mistake.
God damn, I meant to get the last word in.
Oh, my God.
All right, we're going to stop now.
Mike G is the best producer.
I suck tonight.